Hello everybody, my name is Sigourney, and I am the Origami Llama. Welcome back to my channel everybody. In today's video, we will be covering the basics of origami doodling and its application to original origami design. And in the process, I will go ahead and teach you all how to make my very own origami plague doctor. So, first things first, what is doodling in terms of origami? Doodling is essentially what you would think it would be. So when you're drawing and doodling, you might not necessarily have a particular aim or intention. It's the same with origami. So you take your square sheet of paper or whichever shaped base that you choose to start with, and you kind of just start folding, seeing what comes out and playing with the paper until it takes shape of some sort. This can sometimes result in a new model or design. It can also sometimes result in a crumpled heap of paper. For me, more often than not the latter. So I'll show you a few of my other doodle designs. This flag doctor here is the first doodle that came out rather successfully. I reverse engineered it, so I folded it. It took immediate shape. This was back in March, like some sort of bad omen, but I'm still very proud of it. But anyway, I just kind of started folding, seeing where it would take me, and I ended up with this guy. And then I later unfolded him, copied down the crease pattern, and then just refolded him so that I knew how to do it and could keep reproducing it. So this is what I consider to be my first original design. But I'll show you a few of my other more successful doodles, not the scraps of paper that I mentioned before, but here's kind of a rougher one. If you can kind of see, I would call this more of a gestural one, but basically just a lady with long flowing hair waving out to the sides, kind of tried to make an impression of a head here. You see her legs and stuff and her body, but I did a little bit more shaping on this one. I was kind of just trying to practice different techniques, so you'll see a lot of origami, very crisp, very clean lines, whereas other artists prefer the more organic or natural look to their paper art, so working on different curves and rumples that just make it seem a little bit more real life and fleshed out. Another one is this lovely ball gown. Just kind of came out of nowhere. I put it up to a picture of my cat. He looked dashing in it. Let's see how the plague doctor looks. Oh, just beautiful. So lovely. But let's see. Some of the little papers I worked with, I came out with this little headdress or pharaoh's crown. For one, you can see a little snake on the crown portion, I forget what it's called, the cloth that goes around it, but yeah, the little beard, cute little pharaoh. This wee little Tyrannosaurus with its stubby little arms. I liked this one made me smile. I think the one that I'm going to work on reverse engineering next, the one I'm probably most proud of so far, is this hummingbird that came out. There are a lot of hummingbirds, I've noticed, in the origami world. But did you know that elephants are actually among the most common origami designs out there? So if you're looking for an origami elephant, there are zillions. I mean, not literally zillions, but just, there are a lot of them. They're highly featured. Little tail. But yeah, I thought that one was pretty elegant. I liked the use of paper and space in this one, so I'll try to get that one out for us next. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to fold my wonderful little plague doctor. So you grab your square sheet of paper. I'm working with a 6 by 6 inch square here. You're going to want to use a double-sided paper for the best results. Otherwise, just to warn you, if you use like black on one side, white on one side, or however you do, you are going to notice that whatever color or patterns on the other side will poke through the body here, making your figure look a little goofy. But if you don't have double-sided paper, that's fine. Just work with what you have. not a huge deal. But we'll start out with our blinched base. So we're going to make a few starting folds here, just a horizontal down the middle. Open it up and repeat on the other side. There you go, you've got this matrices of 4 squares and a little center point here, and you're going to take all 4 of your corners, align them as precisely and carefully as you can, and lay down your creases so that they all meet in the middle. This is what is called your blinched base. You can either use your nails for this. I typically just like using my hands, but if you're working, say, with smaller paper, or you're still kind of working on your dexterity and finesse, you can use like a bone folding tool, or some people have wooden tools or dowels, that sort of thing that they like to use. Whatever your preference is, go with what's comfortable. Alright, you've got all 4 sides pointed in, like so. You're going to unflip 2 of those flaps. So we've just got these 2. Turn it over. You're going to fold down the center, very carefully meeting up those other sides. So I'm weird sometimes. I kind of like to fold my models in the air like this, just in the air with my hands, but it is easier typically if you're starting out to have a flat surface to really get those lines straight. And I mean, you can work in the air if it's something smaller. That's what I typically do anyway, but once you get more complex, those bigger designs, you're going to want a nice big flat space to work on. Alright, so you've got those in place. If you open it up here, you're going to take this edge and meet it to this edge and allow that triangular flap to rest outward. You don't want to crush that underneath. Carefully matching up the edges, putting down your creases. Same dealio on the other side. You will notice a lot of symmetry. That is very common in origami, but you will find the occasional oddball asymmetrical model. That's where things get confusing, but still fun. Alright, so you've got this shape here, got this square in the middle. You're going to notice at the points of the square here, you've got a line pre-made on either side. Go ahead and flip that portion over to the back. Same on this side. Good. Now you're going to flip your model over to those portions we just flipped back. And you're going to take this edge and fold it to this edge, lining this edge up along with that bottom. So it's going to look like this. Open that up. Do the same thing on the other side. This edge to this edge, so that mirrors that. Really lay down that edge. Good. Open it up. Now we're going to do basically a rabbit ear. So pressing those in here, you're going to have this fin that sticks up like so. You're going to do just a squash fold here. You've got your lines already preset for this, so you shouldn't have to fight the paper too much, but gently squash that down so that you get this square shape here. Do the exact same thing on this side, so taking this edge to this edge. open that up, this edge to this edge. There you go. And you're going to put those together, rabbit ear here. You've got your fin. Gently squash that portion down into that square shape like you saw on the other side. And sometimes if the paper might get a little caught up in some areas, just have to work it a little bit. There you go. Great, so you should have two identical sides here. Now, refocusing on this side, you're going to take this edge and fold it to your center line, doing the same, you guessed it, on the other side. It's okay to really take your time here. If I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video and just do it at your own pace. This edge to the center line. It's a little lopsided there. That's okay. So you're gonna, you see where these flaps meet? You're gonna take this triangular portion that forms here and fold it down over it. Like so. Really press that down. Good. Unflip that triangle, unflip these flaps here. Unflip yet another flap. If the paper will let me. There we go. We're going to do a petal fold. So you've got your center line right here, and these outer edges that are just going to meet in the center. You've already got your lines in place for it, so just follow along those. There you go. In triangular shape. Bring that top portion down. We're doing the same exact thing on this side. Yay! Alright, edge to center. Yeah, see what I said about doing stuff in the air? Here I go again. My hands don't want to lie flat, I'm sorry. Take this edge, also to the center. Take that triangle and see where those flaps meet, right over that line. And make sure the peak of this triangle is also aligned with your center line. Give it a good crease. If you think you've got enough creases, I don't care, crease it again. Pop the triangle back up. Unfold this section here. And unflip this other flap. Doing another petal fold. So taking those outer edges and bringing them in right along your center line. Good. Now you're just gonna push that top portion down again, so you should have a model that now looks like this. Turn her over. We're going to work on the arms a little bit here. So you see these two triangular portions, we're going to rabbit ear those. So take this edge, center line. You're going to hear that a lot, I apologize. It just is what it is. Take this edge here, same deal. Good. Unfold that so you see where it crisscrosses. You're going to press those in. Your model will form a little fin here. Put your fold in. And it can lie to either side. Doesn't matter at this point yet. Do the exact same thing here. So it's going to look kind of like a fish base if you're familiar with your bases. open that bit up, this edge to the center. Rabbit ear. There you go, and lay it down in the same direction. Brilliant. So now you have a model that looks like this on this side and this on this side. So we're going to take these little armies that we just made, for these are, in fact, the arms. You can see the body, you can see which side could be the head and the feet. I like to just point that out so you guys can see the metamorphosis of your model as you're folding it. I find that's kind of useful sometimes to orient myself when I'm folding. So take this center line of your fin and gently press it down. You're gonna make that arm shape. You can tuck this kind of underneath the other flap for now, because they do overlap. Deviously rubbing hands together. Ha ha ha. Sorry, dude. Alright. Do the same thing with the other side. So you've got this center. Gently press that. You might need to open this bit up a little bit. There you go. And press that down. There. So you've got the basis for what are going to be the hands here. I'll redirect you to this side, which I've decided will be the head. So that means we're going to take this triangle that we had folded previously and really give that a good crease, because we are going to open sink this. And I will show you what that means in a bit if you don't already know. Like double, triple, quadruple crease this, because it just makes the process a little easier. Do it forward, and I like to do it back as well, just to really punch that line in. There we go. So you're going to kind of open up the model from the bottom here. Makes it a little easier. Unfold that portion. You can see that you've got this little square here. You're going to gently push that into the center. Sink it in, if you will. And if you're working on a smaller scale, or it's just you find this part too little and wheedling and difficult, you can use like a little tool, whatever you have lying around, to just kind of make sure that it pops all the way down, lay the creases in. So there we have it. We've got our little beak portion you'll see on here, and in that sink fold you might already kind of be able to see where we're going to put those eyes. In the meantime, let's go down to our bottom portion. These are going to be the feet. So you can go ahead and open that model up at the bottom. You can see this matrices of lines. You've got this bigger triangle right here that we're going to focus on, folded along that edge. Now you've got these two smaller triangles. You're going to gently meet those to this outer edge. And then you're going to pull this all together from these points inward. See, as you turn it over, that you're going to have this diamond shape here, these two smaller triangles. These are going to be the feet. Now, you've got a little layer trapped under here. Go ahead and pull that out, because we want it up underneath this section rather than this section, if you can see what I'm saying. So we've got it here, and you're just going to transfer it up into the body, and then he'll stand a little bit better that way, or she. Flag doctors can probably be ladies too, well, especially in the modern era, I would imagine. There, so you've got your feet. Let's go back to our head portion, or we're gonna work on the defining this back a little bit so we get this hood shape. So turn it over. You're gonna see two rectangles here, two long rectangles. We are going to make a valley fold, diagonal valley fold from this corner to this corner. So line that up. There you go. When you open it back up, you can see where that diagonal line is. Do the same thing on this side. There you go. So now you're going to press those two in, and you want the hood to bow over this way. So kind of do that simultaneously as you're pressing that in, and you will see where you put those next lines. Basically just flatten that bit out. Taking your time to do it as neatly as you can. Try to match those two up. I know it's not perfect on this model. That's okay. Sometimes I find that if it's a little sloppier, especially on a simpler design like this, it's forgivable. It kind of gives it more of that realistic, organic look. And I feel like this model looks a little bit better, slightly rumpled. That might just be me, but it gives it a little bit more character. Alright, this is coming together. So pull your beak portion out so that it sticks straight out. And you are going to go up underneath his jaw here and just, if you can see kind of what I did on this side, on this finished model. Perhaps not. I will show you though. You're going to take this edge and fold it into your center line. Same with this edge, to slim the beak out a little bit. And it doesn't have to match up exactly with the center line. You can see I've left just a tiny little micrometer, just a tiny space. That's what I'm saying. Depending on how slim or how thick you want the beak to be, so you can play with that and just see what suits your aesthetic best. There's really no right or wrong answer for that. There. So now you have your beak sticking straight up, looking strange. Now you can go ahead and kind of pinch the beak and start giving it some shape, looking kind of like a proboscis or something. You know, the little curlies on butterflies they use for eating. There we go. Very sinister, very beakular. I need to come up with better descriptors. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so I'm going to use a tool for this next part. It just makes it way easier to shape out the eyes. So you'll notice you've got these little eye sockets. I find it helps to kind of pinch the head here, pull the beak down, and then just, I'll use this side. Just shape out those eye sockets, kind of making them rounder, smoother, giving them that hollow eye socket look. And you can pull the beak down a little bit and kind of make them bigger I mean, because the more you press it up, the smaller the eyes are going to get. So if you really want that big, deep, hollow, creepy eye look, pull the beak down just a little bit and then just shape it to your specifications. And there you have the face. So a few final details. These are just called like some finishing folds. What you can see what I did on this portion, I kind of crimped the end of the hands to give them a little bit more shape, a little bit more intrigue. And sometimes I like to kind of play with the shoulder and neck area of the robe, kind of duress this area and that. Rough up your model. They've been through a lot, these plague doctors. They've been through a lot. Make them look like it. But yeah, that is the basis of how you do that. You have made a plague doctor. Congratulations. If you were successful, please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions or were confused by anything, do let me know. I'd be glad to try to address those issues. But if you enjoyed this and found it informative, I would ask that you please consider giving my channel a subscribe and liking this video. But that is all I have for you folks today. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time.